Hello everyone, this is Jon from Blissfully Unaware, and unfortunately this week, me and Bobby could not get together to do a new podcast. So we had an episode in the bullpen, just waiting to be unleashed to the world, and that is going to be our all Seinfeld episode. Now, it's not going to go in the normal order where Trivia Tuesday and all that stuff, but today we're going to be just telling you how we got to start watching Seinfeld, and then the next day is going to be trivia, and so on and so forth. Sorry we couldn't get you guys a new episode, but hey, we still got you some new some content to listen to. Thank you for listening to Blissfully Unaware. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Blissfully Unaware podcast. I am Jon.
And I am Bobby.
That's Bobby. For once, I'm going to let him go ahead and say his own goddamn name. Well, we got a special episode for you guys this week. It is the 25th anniversary of mine and Bobby's favorite comedy show. What is it, Bobby?
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld!
Woo! Yeah!
Such a fucking epic show. Just awesome. You got Jerry, you got George, you got Elaine, and of course, you have Krammer. Four characters that will forever live in TV infamy. Just a great show. Go ahead and start off how you started watching the show.
How I started watching Seinfeld. Well, many years ago, when we would hang out and spend the night at each other's houses, you and I, Johnny.
That's right. We used to have good old times, slumber parties and facials and all kinds of stuff. It's great.
It's okay to be that. It's okay.
Hey, no, there's anything wrong with that.
No, honestly, I'd have to say the first time that I've ever watched or ever caught an episode of Seinfeld was probably at your house. Either we had been flipping through, and of course what I remember, it was still going, but we'd usually catch syndications, or we would catch reruns off of TBS. But you insisted. It was about probably 3 years ago. You were just like, you gotta watch it all. You gotta watch it. Start from the beginning. Watch it all.
Right.
So 3 years ago.
It's funny, the people who are listening to this are starting to see a pattern here. I just keep throwing it at you. You gotta watch it, man. You gotta watch it.
But they don't know this. But you've always been the television guy.
Yeah.
Then movies. I've always been the movie guru, and then TV was my second. So me and you were flip-flop, like yin and yang, yang and yin.
Flippity-floppity.
Flippity-floppity, boopity-bloop.
That's right. We're also Adam Sandler.
And we're... So I think it was actually more like 4 years ago. It's when they started bringing out all the DVDs, and they were putting them back on the shelves, and they were getting, you could buy the big box set of season 1 through 9. And I think I bought the first 3 seasons, just boom, like one stop at Best Buy. And I had bought maybe 4 and 5, and then I went to Japan. But then that's when I got all of them on to an external hard drive. And when I was in Japan, that's like my main thing. I would just watch Seinfeld. Did it 1 through 9, and I did that probably 5 times while I was in Japan. I watched every episode, seasons 1 through 9, 5 times. And, of course, I would just go to my favorite episodes. But that's my story on how I began to watch the one, the only Seinfeld.
Okay, my story starts probably about, 1996 or so. It used to come on at 10 o'clock at night, right before Jay Leno would come on, and my mom would always tell me about 9:30, get your ass in bed. You need to get up and go to school. But, of course, I would go in there and immediately, shut the door, turn off the light, pretend I'm going to sleep, turn on the TV. And, of course, Seinfeld was there. And, of course, when I was that age, I didn't get half the shit that was going on. pretty much back then when you're a kid, you like Kramer. He's the crazy, goofy guy. He's got the funky hair. He's always getting into mischief. And as you continually start watching the show, you start to realize they're all just as crazy as Kramer. Only Kramer's the only one that's putting it out there. And but yeah, I just started watching it, late at night before going to bed, and that was still whenever the show was going on. So eventually, I started watching it on Thursday nights on NBC when it would come on, and yeah, man, just immediately fell in love with it, and it's always been my favorite ever since. Because me, when I was growing up, I would always say Seinfeld was the best show, and my sister, ignorantly would say that Friends was the best show. Friends is a great show. Friends is a great show. Don't get me wrong.
Great show. I mean, I've watched it all. Great show, but it doesn't compare.
No.
Nothing
really
gets in the
doesn't.
stratosphere, the realm, the little force field that Seinfeld projects. Nothing gets close to it. Nothing.
Just such a fucking great
We're talking about sitcoms, situational comedies on TV.
Yeah.
We're not necessarily talking about all TV shows. We're talking about sitcoms.
Right, because we all know what you were shocked whenever I said it, whenever I put Breaking Bad ahead of Seinfeld as my all-time favorite show. But comedy, no, nothing's ever going to even come close to touching that.